Welcome to the July 2024 version of the Mayor's Monthly Video. I hope you had a safe and wonderful 4th of July. I hope everybody enjoyed Liberty Day, and it's very, very hot outside. So I hope folks are taking the precautions that they need to take, stay hydrated, stay cool. So we'll get right on into it. I'll go into the overview. The purpose of this video, of course, is to talk about citizen questions and concerns. Some of these came to me on the city's website, as I've asked people to do. Others, people just stopped me on the street and asked a question, expressed concern about something that I'm going to address. And then also there was a couple of things, or at least one thing I know that was something I added in there. And then we'll wrap it up with some community news and events. And so I'll move right on into the citizen questions and concerns. Before I do that, I kind of want to talk about the philosophy. There's a lot of things that people come and ask me questions about. They'll come to City Hall, they'll ask questions of the folks at City Hall. And they're issues that really the City of Columbiana has no responsibility over. It's quite limited, some of the things that we do. The state of Alabama determines the things that we can and cannot do, and we're guided by those statutes. But oftentimes, my philosophy is, if you come to City Hall, we might still be able to help you, even though it's not necessarily the city's responsibility. That might be just referring you to who the right agency or person is, giving you phone number, giving you directions, any number of things that we might possibly be able to do to help folks out. And that philosophy is something that I recently learned in a presentation, was a philosophy that was adopted by the former mayor of Scottsdale, Arizona, Mayor Herb Drinkwater. And he had a little phrase that he would use a lot, and he would say, "No one should ever leave City Hall feeling defeated. There's always something that can be done." And I really like that philosophy, so we're certainly going to try to do that in the city of Columbiana. And if it looks like, or if you feel like we're not doing that, let me know. I'd be happy to look into it. Okay, so the first question and concern, a couple of residents came to me and expressed some concerns about an African-American cemetery off of Old Highway 25 that's in need of upgrading and repair, and they asked for the city for some help. Now again, this is one of those situations where the city is not allowed to do any type of work or provide any service or anything of value for a private entity or on private property. And this cemetery is located on private property. That's what's referred to in the state of Alabama as the public purpose doctrine. So the key word is there's public purpose. If we can ascertain that this serves a public purpose, then we can possibly do something about that. So what do we need out there? There needs to be a road access and maintenance of that road. This particular road that accesses the cemetery is on private property. So we would have to get property owner permission to do that. And then the cemetery needs to be restored, it needs maintenance, and it needs long-term upkeep. Once again, it's on private property. Now, a lot of African-American cemeteries, particularly old ones like this, there are gravestones in this cemetery, have birth dates in the 1850s. So some of the folks who are resting out there are possibly or most likely born into slavery. So I think there's a historical significance to that cemetery. And so we're certainly, as a city, going to look into that and see what we can do. There are agencies all over the U.S. and within Alabama that provide grants to help you restore and maintain old and historical African-American cemeteries. So we're certainly going to look into that. We're going to be working with the owners to find out what we can do there. And if any of you want to volunteer any time to help us out as far as doing the research and some of the legwork and getting in touch with any of these nonprofits and these various entities that will provide grant funding for this work, please give me a call and let me know. I'll be happy to get your help. But we're going to, again, not just sort of toss the idea out because the city doesn't, and say city can't do it because it's on private property. We're going to take the philosophy that we're going to see what we can do, and I think there are some things that we can do. Okay, so the next thing is some of the businesses, business owners on Main Street have expressed concerns about the truck traffic on Main Street. So we are going to have a city council work session later this month, and we're going to talk about this issue of truck traffic and perhaps adopting an ordinance that says no trucks except for local deliveries. That will require the passage of an ordinance, some signage. We would have to identify a truck route. Done some preliminary work there. You can see it on this chart as far as the map is concerned. So if you have any thoughts or ideas about that, please get in touch with your council member. Let them know you think it's a good idea, you don't think it's a good idea. Let them know why you think whatever your position is, the justification for your position. But we're going to be kicking that around about a week from today, actually, or actually a week from tomorrow at a city council work session. So we'd love to hear from you about what you think about a truck ordinance for the city of Columbiana. Surrounding communities already have them. It's not something that would be new and unique to Columbiana. Okay, the other thing, and this was my idea, while we're talking about and kicking about this particular, or this truck ordinance, if you will, I thought we would take a look at the red light, the traffic signal at the middle of town at the intersection of Main Street and College Street. There are buildings that are very close to the road and to the intersection, which blocks visibility. And so we're going to talk about the potential of making that a no right on red intersection, because in order to be able to see traffic from your left, if you wish to turn right from virtually every direction that you're traveling, either on Main Street or College Street, you really have to pull across the crosswalk to be able to see to your left whether or not traffic is coming and you can make a safe right turn on red. And when traffic pulls into the crosswalk, then they create a hazard for pedestrians who otherwise would be walking in the crosswalk. So we're going to talk about that at our work session, and I'd certainly, again, ask you to contact your city council representative and express your opinions and issues and concerns with that as well. All right, so one of the questions that came to me over the website is, why doesn't Columbiana have a self-service laundromat or self-service car wash that it would be beneficial to the citizens and the residents of our town? And that's a good question. And there used to be self-service laundromats in Columbiana, or at least one that I remember. And there were a couple of self-service car washes in Columbiana, but all of those have ceased operations. And of course, those are privately owned businesses, and those are things that the business owners have to make a business decision as to whether or not they can continue to operate those based upon the cost, the profitability, and the demand for those services. For example, on this chart, you see a laundromat on the left side, and you can tell just from looking at that to be able to open one of those, it requires a very substantial investment on the part of the owner. They've got to buy all that equipment. They've got to lease or purchase a building to put that stuff in. And they have to be able to maintain all that equipment because it can become very expensive. And, unless you want to put, $5 a load into a washer or a dryer, it may not be profitable. It may not be something that people can do. But nevertheless, we're going to look and see where there might be opportunities with that. Reach out to business and owners and investors who might be interested in doing something like that. The one that I think probably has the biggest chance of success is a self-service car wash. And on the chart here, there are actually two different types. There's the spray and wash kind, where you pick up a wand, you put your money in, and you essentially wash the car using the high-pressure wand. And then there's the drive-through type, where they have the brushes and the sprays and the waxes and all that stuff there. So again, both of those things require significant investment on the part of the business owner. They require investment in facilities and equipment, and obviously there needs to be enough demand for that type of stuff to be able to offer an affordable service that people are going to be willing to pay for. I do think that there are some businesses here in town that would already have a place that would make sense to put something like this. So we'll reach out to those business owners and see what they can do to help us get a self-service laundromat or self-service car wash into the city of Columbiana. There are things that the city can do, and the thing that's used most often in attracting new businesses is tax abatements. But again, this is a situation where there has to be a really good business analysis done as to how much sales tax, for example, it would generate, when would it pay for itself, and how long would the tax abatement last for, in order to get those types of businesses into the city. We typically don't just hand those out to everybody because we want to make sure it's something that's going to create jobs, that it's going to attract, again, a lot of sales tax revenue to sort of offset the abatement, if you will. And of course, these businesses, since we've already talked about our self-service, really wouldn't create the jobs for us. But nevertheless, we're going to take a look into those things. All right, community news and events. We announced at our Music on Main Friday night that we had received our Tree City USA designation. We got that, actually, we applied for it in 2023, and we received the notice this year. That initiative was led by our beautification board. We recognized the beautification board for that. The city adopted an ordinance, made commitments to support the requirements of being a Tree City USA, and so we were happy for that. Got some really nice signs that were presented to us by the Forest Service. We're going to be putting those out on Highway 47, Highway 25. We only got 2, so we might actually get some more printed up and let everybody know that Columbiana not only is a great place to live, but we really like our trees, and we're proud of being a Tree City USA. I also mentioned at previous council meeting we got a state tourism grant. I got a copy of a nice letter from Governor Ivey here, and that grant was specifically to help us with the expenses associated with Liberty Day. As many of you remember, Liberty Day last year was recognized by Shelby County as the top tourist event in Shelby County for 2023. And then finally, announced this Friday night at the Music on Main as well, we were notified, I believe it was Wednesday, I got the notification from our state senator that we had been awarded a Rebuild Alabama Act grant to help us with our paving projects. We've been sort of kicking the can down the road and delaying the start of those because you can't use the grant money for work that you've already accomplished at all. And so we identified these streets that we were going to use the money for, the projects, and we were holding our breath, hoping that we would get the grant so that we could get started on them. And so we now have that notification, and we're going to be putting out bids for that. So the grant was for $311,000, and this is kind of neat because we only asked for $250,000, and we got about $61,000 more than we asked for. The state came up with an initiative to where when we apply for these grants, we ask for a certain amount, and then we have to match usually about half of it. And so the state said, we're going to pay for half of your match. So they added another $61,000 to it, and it came up to about $311,000. So that's good news for the city. As I've mentioned, we depend on volunteers to help us get things done around town, and we depend on a lot of grant money, and so this is a great deal for the city of Columbiana, and we hope to put it to good use. Okay, so that's about it. If you guys have any questions or comments, you can send them to me on the website. If you see me walking around town, you can stop me and ask me, as somebody did on the truck thing that I was talking about earlier. But until then, keep all those cards and letters coming in, and we'll see you in August.